Hello everybody and welcome to this World War Armies deck spotlight video. Today we're going to be taking a look at this American deck. This is the standard American deck that I've been playing. I think it's a pretty good all-round deck. There's a few options, we'll go over that later for variations on the deck. But this is generally the US deck that I've been playing at the moment. So let's just get right into it. Let's talk about the choices. Obviously there's only one general available at the moment, Dwight McLaughlin. So obviously we have to play him. His abilities are Direct Strike. After 5 seconds, you fire a rocket at an area, deals damage if there's a hit. The damage on that is 665 for me, because it's level 3. You can see how much it goes up by with each level. As you can see, the ultimate ability does the same amount of damage, but obviously it fires a lot more rockets. So this Direct Strike ability, it's okay. It's like a decent early game way to fight over crates. You can drop this on the unit that is fighting for the crate with you. And then obviously they either have to move off the crate or they have to get hit by the rocket. It's also pretty good against mortars. Mortars have pretty low hit points and tend to be stationary. It's very difficult to dodge this with a mortar, even if you are paying attention, because they have to pack up the mortar and move. So it's pretty good against mortars. You can fire it into the fog of war. So if you see a mortar hitting you, you can drop this Direct Strike on them. It can be a really good way to harass mortars. It's not so good against heavier units. The damage is quite low. So it's decent against infantry squads, but it doesn't do that much to vehicles. So it's really just for I drop it on mortar squads and for fighting over the crate at the start. I think that's really what Direct Strike's for. The second ability, this ability is Advance Warning. This greatly increases vision range from all captured points for 90 seconds. This ability is amazing. This ability is like the best ability on the general for sure. This ability is super good. Once you use this, you basically can see the entire map for a minute and a half. Like, you can see everything. Like, you can, for sure, you can see enough that you can see everything that's relevant. So this ability is really, really powerful. This is, like, the main thing I use on Dwight. I spam this pretty much off cooldown. Being able to see exactly what your opponent's up to all of the time is really powerful. It also lets your indirect fire units consistently get good shots on things. One of the biggest downsides of indirect fire units, like the Mortar and the Priest, is they can't shoot if they can't see the thing. Even if the thing is shooting you, and you know where it is, you can't fire back without vision. This lets you have vision all of the time, basically. So it's really easy to fire with your indirect fire units. I honestly can't state how good this ability is. It lets you know exactly what you need to do and get perfect information and have the ability to shoot at people. So, like with indirect fire units, it's really powerful. Finally, the ultimate, in air quotes, I don't know if they want to call them ultimates in this game, but the 100 cost ability is Missile Strike. After a 5-second delay, it launches a volley of devastating 280mm missiles at the target location. Just going to check. So it calls this as a rocket. This has 288mm missiles. They do the same damage. So I'm guessing that the rocket is a 280mm rocket. Anyway, this thing has a much larger area than Direct Strike, and it fires a ton of missiles. Like, it fires a bunch of missiles. It lasts for a pretty long time. Anything that stays in it will die, pretty much. I'm sure a mouse can probably survive it, but it'll kill pretty much anything that gets caught in the fire. This can be a really nice way to just delete an enemy unit. It can be dodged, but if you drop it on something and the opponent doesn't move immediately, or the thing is slow like a stug, it's a pretty solid delete button. So this is pretty powerful, but really this is the best. Advance Warning is the best ability on the general. Missile Strike is okay. It's a decent delete button, but it's not as good as Advanced Warning. So I tend to use this when my Advanced Warning is already active and I've got back up to 100 commander points. That's when I'll use a Missile Strike. Or if there's something I just can't beat, like if it's something like a Tiger, I just can't kill it. A good thing to do can be drop Missile Strike on it. An interesting thing to note is that there's no friendly fire on these. So when you're fighting over the crates and you want to drop a Direct Strike, don't worry about hitting your own unit. And when you're trying to kill something with the Missile Strike, don't worry about hitting your own units. You are immune to friendly fire. It also means you can use your vehicles to block in an enemy vehicle. If you want to make sure they can't move away, you can put a unit like in front and behind their tank so it can't move. Then drop a Missile Strike on it. And then you're guaranteed to take that thing out. Alright. Dwight also has Art of Attack, which at level 10 you get 20% bonus damage. Obviously this is really powerful, but getting a level 10 general is not easy, so it takes a long time to get a level 10 general. But when you do, you get a blanket 20% damage increase to American units. Alright, let's talk about the actual deck. So, first of all, in Tier 1, I've got Engineer, Mortar, Machine Gun, and Flamethrower squad. So let's take a little look at these guys. The Engineer, as you can see, his stats are pretty underwhelming. He's in there just to fix tanks in the late game. It takes a long time to repair vehicles at the base, so Engineers to fix them is really, really powerful. The big downside of playing Engineer is this now becomes my starting unit, and he's not very good in combat. So the thing is with American, you haven't got that many options because you want to play Mortar because Mortar's so good. So if you don't play Engineer, you're going to start with a Mortar, which is a lot better as a combat unit, but having access to the utility of Engineers in the mid to late game is really powerful. So I like to play Engineer, even though it makes my start a little bit weaker. Secondly, we've got the Mortar. Anyone who's really played the game much at all and has played with or against Mortars probably understands how powerful this unit is. Mortars are just amazing. They're really very surprisingly accurate. If an enemy is not moving, then the Mortar will pretty reliably hit it. They've got good armor piercing. They've got 120 armor piercing. This means that they can counter light vehicles as well. They're really consistent damage without getting into danger. Every time these things get in danger, you just retreat them and set them up further back. You can make a bunch of Mortars, and it's just really, really difficult to deal with. Mortar is one of the best squads in the game, I'd say. So I think you should definitely just play Mortar on both factions. Alright, next up, I've got the Machine Gun and the Flamethrower squad. Both of these units fill a pretty similar role. They're both just anti-infantry. The Machine Gun is much longer range than the Flamethrower, and a little bit cheaper, but it's not as powerful, and it doesn't have as many hit points. So, like, my Machine Gun's got about 1,200 hit points. My Flamer's got 1,600. So Flamers are the tankier, slightly better assault unit, but they are much shorter range. They got to get a lot closer to do their damage. But really, the reason they're both in there is because you want to have, like, Flamers are not amazing versus Jaegers, and they're not great versus buildings, and they're not good in buildings. Flamers are better than machine guns, and I'd use them primarily as my infantry unit, but machine guns are way better if you garrison them, and they can be a lot more powerful against Jaegers, who have very good range and are one of the dominant units in the game right now. So having machine gunners to fight them at range and be able to get inside buildings for cover is really useful. It also lets you get more units on the field in Tier 1 quickly, because the flamethrower cooldown is quite long. So you build a flamethrower, you gotta wait for the cooldown for another one. You can get a machine gun before the cooldown on the flamer has finished. So it gives you a little bit more ability to get infantry out in the early game. USA infantry tends to be a little bit weaker than German infantry. It's cheaper as well. Cheaper and lower cooldown, but a little bit weaker. So having the extra squad sooner can be a big deal. Alright, let's talk about Tier 2. In Tier 2, I've got the Bazooka Ranger, the Priest, and the Wolverine. So each of these basically has a single job. They're all very specialized in what they do, and they're very good at doing that thing. The Bazooka's job is to simply be a cheap armor-piercing unit. It only costs 100 for the squad. That's very, very cheap. 100 cost and 1 pop cap. Extremely cheap unit. It doesn't have very high damage, but it has good armor piercing, and that's why it's in the deck. I have 130 armor piercing. The reason to play this is so that you have something that can kill tank destroyers. So the most powerful anti-vehicle units in the game are the tank destroyers. That's things like Wolverine, Stug, Jagdpanzer. These are very, very good units, and they are going to dominate the vehicle matchup a lot of the time. But Bazooka Rangers are good versus them because they aren't good versus infantry. So that's kind of why Bazooka Rangers are in the deck. They're just there so that you have an out to enemy tank dominance. If the opponent is winning on vehicles and you can't afford your better tank destroyers, bazookas are a really cheap way to spam the field with something that can fight back against vehicles. Up next, we've got the Priest. The Priest is an artillery, self-propelled artillery unit, indirect fire. So this thing is basically the counterpart to the German Wesp. It's not as good as the Wesp because it doesn't hit as accurately. The fact that it's indirect fire instead of direct fire like the Wesp means that you can dodge it. It's not very good at hitting moving targets, but it has good damage, really good AoE, so it's good versus infantry squads, and that's its main job. Its main job is to be a vehicle that can clear up infantry. It also does have a machine gun, which is surprisingly good against infantry, so you can drive it up to some infantry and fight them. I wouldn't recommend doing that against Jaegers, because it doesn't have that much armor. It's only got 110, so Jaegers can kill a Priest. But things like flamers and machine guns, you can use a Priest to drive up and use the machine gun. But also just the artillery shots are really good against infantry. So that's really why the Priest is in the deck. This is your primary anti-infantry vehicle. Alright, and finally in tier 2 we have the Wolverine. The Wolverine, I think, is borderline overpowered. This thing is amazing. This is so strong. It's the best tank destroyer that America gets. Definitely in tier 2 at least. There's also the Hellcat over here, which I've been reasonably unimpressed by. The Hellcat fires 6 times a minute. The Wolverine fires 20 times a minute. So, yeah, I think the Wolverine is just way better. I think the Wolverine is the best tank destroyer the USA gets. And it's just really powerful. I think you should definitely have Wolverine in your deck. I don't think it's even close. It is the best anti-vehicle unit that America gets, in my opinion. Great armor piercing, great damage per minute, good movement, decent hit points. It's not super strong, like it's pretty vulnerable, but it has enough to survive most engagements and escape. It's got longer view range, so it can see further. Fires very quickly. It's just, you definitely want Wolverine in your deck. And then finally, in tier 3, I've got the Heavy, the M6 Heavy. This is in the deck just because it's a brick wall. It has so many hit points. And this thing has, I've got mine at level 7, it has almost 12,000 hit points here. That's basically its job. Its job is just to stand in front and absorb damage, so that all of your other units, like your Priests and your Wolverines, can actually do the work. It's also really good against infantry. It has surprisingly good area damage, so this thing is good versus infantry squads. It'll hit pretty much every shot against an infantry squad. So it's a really nice frontliner. That's why it's in my deck. It's a frontline unit. Now, if you have the... where is it? If you have the Kong, I think the Kong is a perfectly reasonable option as well as a tier 3. I have not unlocked the Kong yet, so I haven't tried it, but I've seen it in action. And this thing basically just like one-shots a ton of enemies. It only fires 2.4 times a minute. So it fires incredibly slowly, but when it fires, something just dies. Like, it just deletes a target. So I think if you've unlocked the Kong, that is a perfectly reasonable option to have instead of the Heavy, possibly even instead of the Priest. I think you could replace that slot, or maybe even Bazooka Ranger. The Bazooka Ranger is in the deck as an out to tank destroyers, but it is probably the weakest unit in the deck. Other variants you can try is playing the Sherman. Sherman instead of either the machine gun or the Flamer as an additional anti-infantry unit. I think that's pretty good. I've been using Sherman quite a lot lately, and I've been really impressed by it. So that's definitely an option you can use. Alright, so I hope you guys understand why I've built the deck the way I have. Personally, I think most of these are sort of best in slot. I think Flamethrowers, Mortar, Priest, Wolverine, and Heavy are kind of just like the best things you can play for their role. Possibly Rangers are better than Bazooka Rangers. I haven't unlocked Rangers, so I can't say for sure. But I believe that most of these units are like the best at doing what they do in USA. So that's the main reason they're in here. Alright, so I've got a game from my stream where I'm playing this deck. We're gonna jump into that so you can get some gameplay from this deck. It is taken from my live stream, so there is commentary from the live stream during the game. So yeah, we'll jump into that and you guys can see the deck in action. Alright, hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you in the game. Level 8 Jaegers. I think I'm in trouble, boys.
Waiting your orders. Flamethrower is ready to burn our enemies.
I want to try machine gun as a way to get another anti-infantry unit out sooner. I need to see if the timing even works. Like, can I get machine gun before I just have 130 and this is off cooldown? Because I want the machine gun to go help the engineer and the mortar fight against the Jaegers. But it kind of looks like I'm not going to get enough money to make it
Commander.
Before I could just make the flamethrower.
Show them what we've got. Ready to move.
Yeah, I can't fight that thing. It's like a few seconds earlier.
Let's move, boys.
My flamer should beat this Jaeger over here.
Standing by. Reporting for duty.
I can't fight this one though. This is why I'm not that keen on starting with an NG. NG plus mortar still can't beat a Jaeger. I don't think the flamethrower is going to get there in time. He's going to have the point before the machine gun gets there.
Ready to move. Mortar can now be
Yeah, he already
used.
has the resources.
Standing by.
That's annoying. It doesn't really work out.
Standing by. The squad is healed.
Strategic point captured by enemy forces.
Okay.
At least we get one of them.
Reporting for duty.
Yeah, look, he's just kind of running around against the machine gun as well. And it's not doing anything.
Awaiting your
So it
orders.
kind of seems like you can just run around against everything and they can't hit you.
Yes, Commander. Standing by.
Seems like they need to fix that. They need to like adjust aiming times or something. Or make it so you can aim at something that's moving. But the fact you just can't aim at a moving target is absurd.
Awaiting your orders. Awaiting your orders. Hit them with all you
Mortar's
got.
level 9 as well, yikes.
Ready to move. Get cover. Push forward. Standing by. Yes, Commander.
Strategic point captured by your forces.
Ready to move. Yes, Commander. Awaiting your orders. Reporting for duty. Move your ass. Move it, squad. Standing by.
Seems like Jaeger aiming time is not slow. They seem to be able to shoot just fine.
Get it done. Ready to move. Yes, Commander. Let's move, boys. Okay. Awaiting your orders. Ready to move. On the move. Fire at will. Standing by.
Strategic point captured by your forces.
Move your ass. Awaiting your orders. Move it, squad. Reporting for duty.
If I make a priest, I can't make a Wolverine.
New tank on the field.
I'm not sure that priest is even good. I think priest, because priest is free pot cap, I think it might just be better to make 3
Reporting
mortars.
for duty.
3 mortars seems like it's going to be more effective
Fire
than
at
1
will.
priest. But, you know, I'm going to try out the priest a bit more. Hey, what's up, tank? Do you like the new tanky
Hit it with
modes?
all you got.
They're pretty tanky, right?
Stay alive. Awaiting your orders.
I'm thinking of removing the
Yes,
one
Commander.
where the tank like drives towards you.
Let's move, boys.
I'm not sure about that one.
Push forward. Let's move, boys.
Strategic
Standing
point
Is that a west?
captured by your
Looks like a
forces.
west. There's a west.
Reporting for duty.
Yeah, see, this might have been a reason not to get a priest,
Let's
because
get
now I
to
can't
it.
build a
Heading that way.
Wolverine, which I need.
Good
First
to go.
blood.
Ready to move. Awaiting your orders.
We're listening,
Why are they
Commander.
still firing?
Cannons, fire!
It's not like I can use bazookas to fight a west
Yes,
either.
Commander. Yes, Commander.
There goes my mortar.
Ready for action. Don't let them destroy our tank!
I probably need to delete
Ready
a
to
unit
move.
and get a Wolverine.
Standing by.
Ready to roll.
Reporting for duty.
Resource
Waiting your
plate
orders.
dropped.
I can't even
At
use
your
Boost
command.
Commander because there's no Boost Commander on USA.
We're on it, sir.
So sad.
On the move. Stay alert, crew.
Come on, Wolverine, one more shot, let's
We're
go.
on it, sir.
Let's go! Fuck you, West.
Let's get
Easy
to it.
claps.
Get it done. Hit them with all you got. Standing by.
Standing by.
Heading that way. Ready to take out the enemy.
Yeah.
Retreat!
Okay.
Yes, Commander.
Ready to move.
He got the point. He got the resources.
We're listening, Commander.
So,
Destroy the enemy!
Ready to move. On the move.
At your command.
Yes, Commander.
yeah, Jaeger's just gonna
Ready
kill
for
my
action.
priest. That would suck. It's so dumb, man. They're so strong. Look how much damage they're doing.
Stay alert, crew.
This thing has armor, right?
Destroy
I
our
mean,
tank.
it's being annihilated.
We have occupied the building.
Good to go.
In hard mode over here.
Move your ass.
We're listening, Commander.
Strategic
get to
point
it.
captured by enemy forces.
Engineer reporting. Reporting for duty.
Upper west already.
At your command.
Awaiting your orders.
We're on it,
Yeah, it doesn't
sir.
kill Wolverine anymore. Sorry, mate.
Keep pushing!
On the move.
Standing by.
Ready for action.
Yes, Commander.
Ready to take out the enemy. Ready for action. Victory will be ours!
Order can now be used.
We're listening, Commander.
Reporting for duty.
Strategic point captured by your forces.
Awaiting your orders. Get it done. Let's move, boys.
I'm gonna heavy now.
Retreat.
Move your ass.
Taking fire!
Awaiting your orders.
Reporting for duty.
Ready to move.
Resource crate dropped.
Good to go.
Is he-
Yes, Commander.
probably
At
back
your
up my
command.
Wolverine.
Move it, squad. Get it done. Okay.
Destroy the enemy! We're listening, Commander.
Let's move, boys. Yes, Commander. Ready to move.
Got him.
Good to go.
This is the closest game you've seen me play.
Patched up
Really?
and ready to go. Ready
This
to
one,
move.
I mean, I've definitely played closer ones. Oh shit, it's a tiger.
Standing by.
I don't know if I can beat a tiger.
At your
I need
command.
to get the
Keep pushing!
I need to get
Victory
the
will be
iron
ours.
cannon thing.
On the move. Move your ass.
Ready for action.
Awaiting your orders.
Not the proper tiger syndrome here.
We're listening, Commander.
True
Okay.
tiger syndrome.
Move it, squad. On the move.
Awaiting your orders.
Ooh, it's hard to
Patched up
tell.
and ready to go.
Yeah, I know I'm gonna win.
Ready for action.
Reporting for duty.
Tigre tank down. Oh shit, a west.
Good to go.
Iron cannon the mortars. GG.
Let's move,
Easy.
boys. Move it, squad.
Strategic point captured by your forces.
Ready to move.
I don't even know what to make here. I guess more flames.
Flamethrower is ready to burn our enemies.
Ready to take out the enemy. action.
Get it done.
We've had the good
We're
commander.
listening, Commander.
Enemy has 50
Cannons,
points
Where's
remaining.
that? West? Go, go, go!
Heading
Run,
that
Unit,
way.
run! Oh
At your command.
Move your
oh dear.
ass.
Oh dear. Oh dear. This is bad.
Let's get to it.
Standing by. Okay.
On the move. Ready to take out the enemy. We're listening, Commander.
The squad is healed.
Stay alert, crew. On the move.
The priest is nowhere near as
Waiting
good
your
as the
orders.
West. The West is so much better than the priest. It's
Ready
kind of
for
insane.
Yes, Commander. Standing by. Awaiting your orders.
We're on it, sir. We're listening, Commander.
The two shots my
Yes,
infantry
Commander.
on the move. Whereas the priest like
Ready for
can't hit
action.
anything that's moving.
Good to go.
Let's move, boys.
At
Another
your
tiger?
command.
How does he have a tiger already?
Good to go. Retreat!
Pretty
Patched
bad
up
for
and ready
me.
to go.
Let's get to it.
Yes, Commander.
Reporting for duty.
We're on it, sir. Stay alert, crew.
Can't fight this
Ready to
tiger.
take out the enemy. Heading that way. At your command. Don't let them destroy our tank.
Bazooka is ready.
Push
We gotta
forward.
just cap this point and hold it, I think.
Good to go.
On the move.
Move it, squad. Move your ass.
Can't use that, I have to save it for iron cannon here.
Ready to move.
We're listening, Commander. On the move. Ready for action.
Awaiting your orders.
Reporting for duty.
We're listening, Commander. Let's get to it.
Ready to move. Standing by.
Seems like my bazookas are not as effective as his panzer fracks. Wow, they're almost dead. He's got two shots. Oh my god, the tiger just annihilated them.
Show them what we've got.
Ready to take out the enemy.
Ready to move. Get it done.
We're on it,
Kill this
sir.
tiger.
The squad is
Super
healed.
low. I just need to hit a couple of times with
Victory will be
Wolverine.
ours.
Almost.
Let's get to it. Stay
Yes,
alert,
let's
crew.
go.
Machine gun is ready to be used.
Move it, squad.
Yes, Commander. On the move. Awaiting your orders.
Resource crate dropped.
At your command.
What, another West already?
Awaiting
Oh
your
my
orders.
god.
Good to go.
Can't believe he has another West
Ready to
already.
move.
Can't believe this Jaeger isn't dead.
On the move.
Oh, this Wolverine can't go in, it's too low, I
Let's get
think.
to it.
Yeah, that needs to run.
Yes, Commander.
Right, he has
Reporting for
so
duty.
much stuff over on the left still. I'm
Standing
actually
by.
surprised, really surprised how much stuff he still has on the left.
Okay.
Heading that way.
Ready to move. Let's move, boys. Yes, Commander.
Oh my god, the West.
Okay.
Oh, it's so
On the
strong.
Good to go. The cavalry is here. Ready for action.
Engineer reporting.
Destroy the enemy. We're listening, Commander. Heading that way.
If we cap this middle point, we might just win.
Stay alert, crew. Destroy the enemy. Heading that way.
Strategic point captured by your forces.
At your command. Let's get to it. We're on it, sir.
We got the middle point. It's on 14 points.
Stay alert, crew. Taking fire.
Pretty much there. Saving up for iron
Let's get
cannon
to
as
it.
well.
Come on, keep pushing.
Let's go. Oh, right.